Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and this is my week in books and art. I read The House of the Seven Gables this week by Nathaniel Hawthorne, which I loved. The trouble is, and this is not a fault of the book, all of my library holds on Libby came in at once, because of course they did. And I had forgotten to pause some of them for Gothlit November, so I was madly reading a couple of them. And then I ended up where I had like 2 days to finish this one, which is not the ideal way to do things. Not very bright. Anyway, I loved it, but I listened to it at, I think, 2 times speed. And there were a lot of times where I was like, oh, this is beautiful, but I don't have time to stop and enjoy it because I've just got to finish the book before it disappears from the app. So that was that. I will have to reread that sometime though, because it was beautiful. And I might consider rereading The Scarlet Letter because I read it in like high school or university, just after high school. I can't remember. And I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. So I'm wondering if I'd have a different opinion about it now. I might do. So we'll see. I might do that. And then I listened to, well, I am listening to Jane Eyre in French. I wasn't going to do that this year, and then I just felt like it. So I made a decision on a whim because I'm not trying to read enough books at the moment at one time. It's really ridiculous, but I'm enjoying it. And it's good practice for French, which I've been a bit delinquent in the last few months, so that's good. And then after Nathaniel Hawthorne, I did get back to listening to Ulysses, which I've also been a bit delinquent about because it takes a lot of focus. You can't just like have it on in the background and follow anything. Like this, the actual plot is very straightforward. It's very minimal, but there's so much wordplay, which is, for me, most of the fun. But you at least I find you kind of have to be engaged more intentionally while reading this book than while reading other books. So it takes some effort. It's like worthwhile effort, but you know, there are not enough hours in a day to do all the things I want to do. This is a perpetual problem. It's been a problem forever. It's not going to stop being a problem. It's just an annoying problem. Anyway, those are the books on the week. I'll keep listening to Jane Eyre and Ulysses, I think. And then I've got another book that I started that came in also in Libby called We Do Not Part by Han Kang. I've read The Vegetarian, which was weird, and this one is also super weird, but I kind of am into it, so that's how that's going. And then I went back to the art supply store because, so this is a bit dangerous. Last week I'd gotten, what had I gotten? What are these called? Posca paint pens. So I did a little scribbling. This took like 10 minutes one day, so it's very scribbly. Oh yeah, and this, I don't know if Instagram, YouTube is gonna like this, but I did a bunch of these Inktense drawings, and this is on the back. I'll just like censor the drawing a little bit so that YouTube doesn't delete my account. Anyway, they're just these sort of normal looking pencil crayons that are not very vibrant when they're dry, but then they do this when you add water. It is so fun, and I'm slightly obsessed now. So I got the first 3 rows worth of crayons last week, and then I was like, oh, I'm missing color, so I went back for some blacks and pinks, and then got some extra greens and oranges too, because I just needed more variety. Definitely, it was a requirement. So then for this Art Prof figure drawing track that I'm working through, I did a bunch of these sketches that were all 5 minutes of just sketching, and then I added water to just try and play around with these. These are all, not all, mostly masters. Like this is Velasquez. The original painting is weird. So that's fun. Oh, this is a better version of this. This might need to be slightly censored as well, because I don't know. I don't know if YouTube can tell that for a sketchy little thing like this, but anyway, there was a grand total of 1 plus-size woman in this. It's called The Nude in Art, and it's just all of art history, basically, from the prehistoric through the modern day. It's a very brief overview, so it doesn't have enormous depth, but it's got a lot of range. And it's got other countries too, like China and India, that have long traditions of drawing figures or sculpting figures in some cases. So that was pretty cool. I was glad when books are not entirely Western, because obviously, like, I'm inspired by the Western tradition, but it's not like it's the only thing there is. And then there's hands and feet. I won't show you this particular foot because it's the first couple feet I did are hilarious. Not in a good way. Just like, so that's basically the sketchbook done. And then the next feet I did were these two, which were much more like feet. They didn't look quite so like caricatures of feet like the first two did. What else? Oh yeah, I was working on a winter palette so that in my travel kit I can have, did I do a better version? Oh yeah, I did. This is the better, I took this one out and put the fuchsia in just for fun. Not fuchsia, what is this called? Thistle. There is a fuchsia color. And then this was just the black ink tints, which was impressive what it can do. I really like it, and it can get a wide range of colors from really, really dark to the grays. I did use the gray one a little bit. There's a separate gray pencil, and then I used the Chinese white, just regular drawing pencil. I don't know why it's called Chinese white. I assume China invented something at some point, but I actually looked it up and couldn't find out why it was called a Chinese pencil. Like the grease pencils are called Chinese pencils, and this one must have been inspired by a white grease pencil, but I don't know why it was called Chinese. And then I did this little portrait of a woman from the National Geographic Book of Women. She is from Myanmar. This is some sort of celebration. And this was, oh, I did get also, so Derwent, it might be my new favorite pencil company because they do these Inktense pencils, but they also have graphite that's water soluble. It's this dark wash. I don't know if it's gonna focus, probably not. Anyway, it's called a Derwent Sketching Dark Wash, and it's super fun because it's a regular sketching pencil until you add water, and then it does these sort of washes, which is cool. And I got a new sketchbook because I'm more than halfway through this one, about 2/3 through this one. And also, it's really handy, I discovered yesterday, to have two, because then when one is drying, you can work on the other one. Because I was just, you know, on a roll this weekend, but I don't understand time. Anyway, is that everything for this week? I think that's everything for this week. Yep, it's a short one this week. Mostly about the Inktense pencils that are my new favorite thing ever, and have just made I was getting a bit, I was starting to procrastinate drawing the figures, and then this just got me really interested in it again, so that was very helpful. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.